Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the basics of decision tree. If you're new here, then I am Radhika and this is my YouTube channel Datazard, where I share videos on machine learning, deep learning topics. If you haven't subscribed already, then I would encourage you to subscribe as this means the world to me. And now without further ado, let's get started. So for decision trees, as you know from the name, that this is a tree-based algorithm. What does a tree-based algorithm means? That we are going to build a tree. Now this decision tree comes under supervised machine learning algorithm. If you don't know what supervised machine learning algorithm is, then I have a video already uploaded in my YouTube channel about supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. But to give a brief explanation of what supervised machine learning algorithm is, in the supervised machine learning algorithms, we have independent feature as well as dependent feature. Independent feature is the feature on the basis of which we are going to predict this dependent feature, or this is also called as a target. So we already have labels for our data and we have to predict labels for the unseen data. This is the task that we have to do in supervised machine learning algorithm, and decision trees, they help us to perform this. Now supervised machine learning is of two types: regression and classification. In regression problems, our target variable is continuous in nature. Whereas in classification problem, our target variable is discrete in nature. So if we are doing a house price prediction problem, let's say, so in house price prediction, we're going to predict that houses of 100K, 1 million or whatever. So these are all numeric values, continuous values. Whereas for classification problem, we could be doing whether an email is a ham or spam. So this is 0 or 1, discrete problem. So supervised machine learning is of two types: regression and classification, and decision trees, they can perform regression as well as classification. So they can predict continuous output as well, and they can predict discrete output as well. If a decision tree can predict continuous values, then it is called as decision tree regressor. And if it can predict discrete values, then it is called as decision tree classifier. So there are two variants of decision trees depending on what we need to do, what is the task at hand. Do we need to predict continuous values or do we need to predict discrete values? So on the basis of that, we have decision tree regressor or decision tree classifier. You would have heard terms like parametric algorithm or non-parametric algorithm, and decision tree is actually a non-parametric algorithm. So decision tree is called a non-parametric algorithm because it does not assume a fixed form or equation for the relationship between input or its features and output, that is the target. So suppose that you have linear regression. In that we say that the target variable y is equal to mx plus c. X is the input. So we are assuming that this is the relationship. So our model is y is equal to mx plus c. This model is fully described by a fixed number of parameters. So these are called as parametric algorithms. Whereas in non-parametric algorithm, we don't have any such kind of relationship or a model definition. We are not assuming any specific form. So that's why decision tree is a non-parametric algorithm, because we don't have a set definition or set equation for them. They can adapt to any shape or complexity in the data, and they are more flexible, but these may require more data so that we can avoid overfitting, because non-parametric algorithms are prone to overfitting. So this is the basic difference between parametric and non-parametric algorithm. If you can define your model using an equation and has fixed number of parameters, then it is called as parametric algorithm. But if there is no particular set equation for your model and it can have variable number of parameters, then it is called as a non-parametric algorithm, and decision tree is a non-parametric algorithm. Now the next question that could come to mind is, why do we need decision tree? We have algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, which can do regression, classification. So why do we need decision trees? So there are two major reasons for this. First is that decision trees, they can capture non-linear relationship between data. If we have data which is having non-linear relationship, then decision tree would be important to use, because linear regression for regression problems and logistic regression for classification problems, they are not suitable for handling this type of data. So this is the first reason. And the second is, decision trees, they mimic human-like decision making, and because of that, these become important algorithms to use. So these are the two main reasons why we would be using a decision tree. Now we have said multiple times decision trees, but let us understand what exactly is a decision tree. For this, I'm going to use first a real life analogy, and then I will take that forward and make you understand how it translates into machine learning setting. Suppose that you wake up and now you have to decide, how do you want to go to work? So your question is, how should I go to work? You've got a few options. You can take a train, you can drive, you can walk, or you can take a bike. So these are the options that are available to you, and you have to decide which option should you be choosing on that particular day. So on that day, what you can do is you can check, is it raining? If it is, then you can check if the traffic is heavy. If it is heavy, then you'll just take a bus, because who wants to drive during traffic? But if the traffic is not heavy, then you decided that you want to drive. If it is not raining, then in that case, the options could be either go by walking or by bike. So you again have a condition that, do I have enough time? If yes, then you would just walk. But if you don't have enough time, then you would just take a bike. So in this way, you are deciding that how would you want to go to office on a particular day. This is the same way how decision trees works. These are if-else conditions, and depending on whether the answer is yes or no, you go deep into trees. Now let us try to understand some terminology here in terms of machine learning. These all square brackets, they are called as nodes. So all these squares, they are nodes. This is called as root node because it is the starting point, or it is also called as parent node. So there are two names for this topmost node. Then these nodes, which are shown in pink color, they are called as internal nodes, because from these nodes, more nodes, they are arising from them. So these are called as internal nodes. And then these blue ones, they are called as leaf nodes. So the naming convention is, first is a root node or a parent node, then internal nodes if they have more nodes attached to it, but if they don't have any more nodes attached to them, then they are called as leaf nodes. These are all decision boundaries that we have to choose, and the leaf nodes are the ones which will give you your output. Now this output, either it can be a continuous value for regression, or it can be a discrete value for classification. We'll see how both of these work in the later videos, but this is the basics of decision trees. So I'll just redraw this. So the topmost node is called as the root node or the parent node. Then the inner nodes, they are called as internal nodes. There could be many internal nodes, and the nodes which do not have any other nodes attached to them, they are called as leaf nodes. These, they are also called as child nodes to this parent. These are child nodes to this parent. So these are the common terminology that you would be seeing when it comes to decision trees and machine learning. So these nodes, all these nodes, they are for decisions. These are the branches which are for the choices for these decisions, yes, no, and then these leaf nodes, they will be showing the output depending on whether it is regression or classification. It could be discrete or continuous. So the basic functioning or working of decision tree would be, first we choose the best feature. So if you look over here, we first decided that we want to go by, is it raining, and then is there a heavy traffic, and then on this side by, do I have enough information? So we have to choose what should be this decision. So first we choose that feature. Don't worry how to choose these features, I'm going to explain in the next video. Then we split our data in left side or right side depending on what the answer is for that feature for that particular data. And then we repeat these steps till either all our samples in the leaf node, they are same over here, or we have reached stopping condition. Again, for stopping condition, there are multiple things and I'm going to explain them in my next video. I hope I was able to explain you the basics of decision trees. This should form a good base for you to understand how a decision tree regressor and decision tree classifier work. There are minor differences in functioning for both of them, but they are really simple and I'm going to explain them in my next video. If this video was helpful to you, then please drop a like and a comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one.